Jesus. He's Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Sometimes you can't explain how things go. But just the fact that it was nobody but Jesus. Come on, stand with me as we read this word. Glory to God. Touch me right now.
Yes, God. Give him strength, God.
I don't know how you're going to do it, Lord, but it's not up to me. So have your way.
Have your way, God.
In Jesus' name.
Jesus.
Job 23.
All right.
Beginning at the first verse. Oh, my God.
Thank you.
Bless the name of Jesus.
Yes, oh God.
The word of the Lord reads and says, Then Job answered and said, Even today is my complaint bitter. My stroke is heavier than my groaning. Oh, that I knew where I might find him, that I might come even to his seat. I would order my cause before him and fill my mouth with arguments. I would know the words which he would answer me and understand what he would say unto me. Will he plead against me with his great power? No, but he would put strength in me. There the righteous might dispute with him. So should I be delivered ever from my judge? Behold, I will go forward. Somebody say forward.
Forward.
Behold, I will go forward, but he is not there. And backward, but I cannot perceive him. On the left hand where he doth work, but I cannot behold him. He hideth himself on the right hand, that I cannot see him. We're going to take this out on verse 10. But he knoweth the way that I take. When he hath tried me, I shall come forth as gold. But he knoweth the way that I take. That when he hath tried me, somebody say, I shall come forth as gold. Before you take your seat, just turn to your neighbor and say, you shall come forth as gold. Oh, come on, you ain't convincing today. Come on, shake him a little bit and say, you shall come forth as gold. Come on, find one more time and say, after he has tried you, you shall come forth as gold. Come on, have a seat. I'm ready to preach today.
Have your way, Lord. My.
Been tried, but became gold.
Thank you, Lord.
The enemy thought he had me in the midst of my trying season.
Yes.
But he did not know that God had goldness in his plans.
Yeah.
We see here that many of us are in a place where we're the very place where we are in, we are waiting to get out of. We can't understand why God has me in this place, in this moment, at this time. Some of us would say, God, I'm willing to go through it if it was at a different time. You ever had to tell somebody that? I probably would have did it, but the way that my bank account is set up, I can't do it right now, but maybe in a couple months I can take care of you. And sometimes, even though we know that there's never a time that we really want to be tried, we understand that there's probably better moments to be tried than the one that I'm in. Come on, I don't know about you, but sometimes if I'm going through in my home, the last thing I want to do is go through on my job. If I'm going through on my job, the last thing I want to do is to go through within myself. Just sometimes we get to a place in our life that we feel like this is just a bad time for us to have to be being tried.
Yeah.
And so we get into a place that we are waiting to get out of. The place has been enclosed. It has brought us to a place of wanting to fight out of by any means necessary. We get to a place that we're getting into a place that is so tight and it feels like it's destroying us, and we just want to get out of it by any means necessary, to the point that we don't even ask if it's God's way. We just want to just get out of the situation. So whatever it may be, I have to get out of this situation. And then we get discouraged because God said, I have you in that place, in this place, for such a time as this. There comes a time that a family of 5 can no longer operate in a 2-bedroom home or apartment. Come on, somebody. You just get to a point that no matter if you want to go or not, you get to a point that as life keeps going on, you will find your way of growing out of the space that you're very end. And so we have to understand that you cannot stay in the place that you're in for so long. So no matter how long, we understand that circumstances will push you out. We are in a season as we are embracing our wholeness on this year. I understand that it's November. I understand that some of us feel like, I don't know yet if I went from brokenness to wholeness, but I come to let you know that guess what? We are in the last quarter of this year. And guess what? We serve a God of the first quarter. We serve a God of the second quarter. We serve a God of the third quarter. But I definitely want to let you know this morning that we serve a God of the fourth quarter. And the greatest thing about God in the fourth quarter is that he's just as strong or stronger in the fourth quarter than he was in the first. So you may have taken some beatings, you may have fallen on your face, but God said, just trust me on today. And understand that I was the God of the entire game. So even though you had to fail in your other quarters, God said, I still got time. Come on, somebody say, I still got time. I still got time to give you the victory in the fourth quarter. Somebody say, I got the victory.
I got the victory. All right.
Serve God of the fourth quarter. In verse 2, we see that it says that even today is my complaint bitter. My complaint is bitter. My complaint is bitter. My complaint is bitter. My complaint is bitter. And what he is saying is that complaint is to be unsatisfied or to find something what? Unacceptable. So the word bitter in this part, in this context, means painful or unpleasant. And so it's gotten to the point that I have been in my situation. Think about it. We're in Job 23. Job 1 hit him heavy. So now we are 23 chapters in, and Job is still going through what he's going through. And understand that sometimes we get to a place and say, I've been going through this for so long that even when I complain, it hurts to complain. Oh, come on, somebody. You ever got to a place in your life where you find out that even when I open up my mouth to complain, it hurts to even dwell on my situation. And I've been going through my situation for so long. And it seems like even when I bring it up, that's why we walk past people and people say, well, how are you doing? And we give them the same answer. You know, I'm saved, sanctified, filled with the precious Holy Ghost, got activities in my limbs, breath in my body. I ain't got nothing to complain about. Or we say, what? I'm too blessed to be stressed. Y'all hear that saying, I'm too blessed to be stressing. We come up with all these different sayings, but at the end of the day, soon when we walk by, guess what? We're still with the same complaint that we have in our lives. I wonder what would happen when somebody say, how are you doing? And you begin to tell them the truth. Well, I'm struggling in my body right now. I'm struggling in my faith right now. What would happen? God said, you don't have to hide your circumstance. You don't have to hide your situation, but sometimes you got to be able to face your circumstance. Encourage your neighbor right now and say, face your circumstance. We have gotten used to covering up our complaints. See, Job was being transparent when he said, even my complaining hurts. When I think about how my body and all these sores on my body, I can't even think about it without feeling the same pain. You ever thought about an injury? Sometimes I think about way back when Leon jumped off that slide up in Virginia and he broke his arm, and I just couldn't understand. He broke it in two different places. And so sometimes when I think about it, all he do is cringe. Like, I don't know if you ever see a video. They kept replaying the video last year when Boston played in that first game. And when the boy went up there and he went up there for a rebound, his legs came up under him, and all you see was his leg go and his ankle just break. And they just kept showing it. And every single time they showed it, it didn't matter how many times they showed it. Every single time they showed the video, I was like, and I was like, and I was just cringing because it didn't matter how many times that I've seen the situation. It still affected me the same. So sometimes what happens is when we look at our situation, when we think about our situation, it doesn't matter how many times we view our situation, it still bothers us the same. And so Job is saying that it's painful. And it torments me to think about what I have to go through. Come on, jump down to verse 8 with me. And he says this, behold, I go forward, but he is not there. Behold, I go forward, but he is not there. And backward, I cannot perceive. What this means is that sometimes we feel that we're moving in the direction of God, but we find out, or we feel, that he is not there. And then we go backwards, trying to get a reaction from God. And we find out that we cannot perceive his presence there either. Oh, y'all missed that part. Okay, sometimes when we work with kids, you understand that you got some kids that they call an AS. Anybody know what an AS is?
Nope.
Attention seeker. You know how we used to do when we was kids? When you didn't get your way, you didn't feel like somebody was paying you attention, you would begin to seek for attention.
All right.
So Job is saying that when I move forward, I don't feel his presence or don't see God. But when I move backwards, which we know that we should not do, I'm looking for some attention from God. I cannot perceive his attention there either. And so what happens is that we get into a situation where we don't know what to do. Come on, somebody. I feel like I'm moving forward. I feel like I'm doing things for God, but I don't see where God is. I don't feel his presence. I don't see where he's in. Everybody say that when you enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise, God will be there. God's presence will be where the ark is. But for some reason, I don't see God. So then I begin to attention seek. If I go back out there, then God will come get me. The same way that he got me the first time. But you understand that sometimes you get out there for too long and you find out God is not about to chase you. But sometimes you have to do what? That's how he told Moses, said, what? Stand still. Come on, somebody. And see what? The salvation of the Lord. God will work it out. So verse 10, he says, but he what? Knoweth that the way I take. When he has tried me, come on somebody, when he has tested me, when he has challenged me, he said, I came forth as gold. What he is saying is that I understand you are looking at for me on a certain place, but understand that I'm not at the end of the road. I'm not just at the beginning of the road, but guess what? My presence takes over the entire road. You was never outside of my presence. Even when you couldn't feel me, guess what? I still had my hand on you. Even when you didn't perceive that I was near, guess what? I was right there all the time. Come on, somebody. What God is trying to say to us on today is that you are never too far from him.
All right, now.
Even in the midst of your trying situations, you're never too far from him. Even in the midst of your struggles, guess what? You're never too far from him. Even when it seems like he is not in the midst of your circumstance and it seems like hell is breaking loose, God said, guess what? I am all in the midst of your hell. Guess what? I'm a what? Very present help. What? In trouble. The text says what? In trouble. So he says, don't get confused by what you look like in your testing season. Oh, come on, somebody. We can look at ourselves in the mirror and say, I look a mess in my testing season. I look terrible in my testing season. I don't feel myself in my testing season. I don't feel strong in my testing season. But God said, don't get confused about what you look like in your testing season. Because guess what? It has nothing on how you look in the season of coming forth. Come on, somebody. You may be tried right now, but what you look like when you're tried in the fire has nothing about what you look like when you come forth looking like pure gold. Come on, somebody. I know you look discombobulated. I know you look deformed when you go in, but it's not about what you look like while you're in. It's about what you look like when you come out. Come on, somebody. That's why you can't come into the church leaving out looking like the same way. You're going to be able to go through the process while we're in here. Lifting up your hands in the sanctuary. Blessing the name of the Lord in the sanctuary. Through your midst of your trials, through your circumstances, through your issues. You got to be able to say that, God, I'll praise you in spite of. No matter what it looks like, no matter who's around me, I'll still give you the praise in spite of my circumstances, in spite of my broken heart. I'll still give you the praise that I want to come out of this whole. Somebody say whole. It has nothing about how you will look in the season of forthcoming. See, the problem is that we get hung up on how things look now and not how things will look. Oh, y'all missed that prophecy in your own life. You got to be able to tell yourself every morning, I'm not going to focus on how things look today. I'm going to focus on how things look forthcoming. That's why he says, that's why Paul said what? The greatest thing that helps me the most is that what? I forget what's behind me. And he said, I reach for what's before. Oh, come on, somebody. Before wasn't in past tense in there. That was in future tense. I reach what's ahead of me. That means that even though I may look a mess, feel a mess, act a mess right now, I'm not focusing on my mess on today. Because my mess on today is going to become my past at some point in time. So what I'm going to do is put my eyes on the prize. That's why he says, guess what? Even though before me I have to reach for, but guess what? When the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will lift up a standard. So I press. Somebody say I press. I press toward the mark. The prize of the higher calling, which is in Christ Jesus. And so I don't get hung up on how things will look. When you know that you don't have to worry about the present things. When you know that there's a greater you.
Yeah.
Brother Bush, when you know that there's a greater you on the other side.
Yeah.
You don't have to focus about what you look like today.
Yeah.
When you know that there is an awesome you on the other side, you don't have to look at what yourself looks like today. When you know that there is a stronger you, a better you on the other side, you don't have to focus on what you manifest. When you know that there is a whole you, come on somebody, on the other side, you don't have to look at your brokenness today because you understand that yes, my brokenness may be today, but understand that what Romans 8:18 states is, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall reveal in us. Come on, somebody. I understand that I got to suffer today. I don't care what my today be because my suffering just prepares me for my tomorrow. Come on, somebody. Is anybody glorifying in the suffering because they know what God holds on tomorrow?
Oh, God. Yeah.
So, I'm going to end you with this story. I'm going to show y'all how to preach a poem.
All right now. All right.
That's why I was up all night long. Y'all gonna listen to this story.
All right.
It said some time ago, and trying to shout.
Uh-huh.
Some time ago, it said a small caterpillar was born. It said with some difficulty, it crawled on the ground from one place to another. Until one day, tired of crawling, it decided to climb a tree. But not just any tree. It chose to climb a tree with a large trunk and dewy leaves. A tree it had played under for some years. The caterpillar climbed and climbed, but then it slipped, fell, and could not move forward. Come on, somebody. But it kept working, and step by step, little by little, it managed to climb. It came to a branch it could see the whole valley from. The views were wonderful. It could see other animals, the blue sky with white cotton clouds, and on the horizon, a great sea painted in intense blue. From the branch, the caterpillar breathed in peace. It sat there observing the world around it and felt that life was too beautiful to not transform with it. While the caterpillar was tired and at the same time grateful for its life as a caterpillar, it knew that the time had come to become something else. My God. The tale of transformation was this, that the caterpillar fell asleep, feeling a great peace and thinking about how its destiny was to be something more than a simple caterpillar. It slept and slept, making chrysalis grow around it. A shell that kept the peace, my God, today. A shell that kept the peace there long enough to become another being. When it awoke, it felt trapped in a heavy shell that didn't allow it to move. It felt something strange had grown on its back. With effort, it moved what looked like huge blue wings, and the shell began to break. The caterpillar was no longer a caterpillar. It was a blue butterfly. However, the caterpillar had been a caterpillar for so long that it didn't realize it wasn't a caterpillar anymore. Come on, somebody. The butterfly that believed itself to be still a caterpillar didn't understand why its life had become so hard. I don't know about you, but the caterpillar is telling a testimony on today. Tired of carrying the weight of its wings, it decided to return to the branch where it had transformed. This time, trying to climb the tree, moving forward was impossible. A gust of wind or any other small unexpected occurrences pushed it backwards. The butterfly that thought it was still a caterpillar stood still and looked up at the branch that seemed so far away. Then it began to cry desperately. So upon hearing its cry, a beautiful, wise white butterfly approached it. The white butterfly perched on a flower, and for a while it looked at the blue butterfly without saying anything. When the blue butterfly's crying subsided, the white butterfly said, "What happened to the blue butterfly?" And he said this, he said, "I can't climb up that branch. Before, even though it was hard, I could do it. But if you can't climb up the branch," the butterfly said, she said, "if you can't climb up the branch, maybe you can fly to it." Come on, somebody. The blue butterfly that thought it was still a caterpillar looked strangely at the white butterfly and then looked at itself in its large, heavy wings. Just as on the day that it came out of his shell, it moved them hard and opened them. They were so big and beautiful, a color of blue so intense, that the transformed caterpillar got scared and quickly closed them again. My God, today, you're wearing down your legs by not using your wings. Oh, come on, somebody. You're wearing down your legs by not using your wings. It said the white butterfly taking flight while opening its wings and flying off. The blue butterfly watched, amazed at each moment of the white butterfly, and reflected on the white butterfly's words. At the moment, it began to understand that it was no longer a caterpillar, that perhaps those heavy wings could be useful. The blue butterfly opened them up again and began to fly away. Come on, somebody, making it easier than dragging its legs, although it still had to perfect its technique. Come on, somebody, it discovered that its fear of flying hadn't allowed it to accept who he really was. A caterpillar transformed into a blue butterfly. Oh, come on, somebody, let me just exegete this real quick. Now, I promise you I'll let y'all go. Let me just give y'all God's take on this poem right here. Is that some of us since birth have been walking through life with some difficulty, making it difficult to go from one place to another. We have been struggling long enough, understanding why do I have to struggle just for making it from A to Z? Why do I have to struggle with my weakness sometimes for making it from one place to another? But the caterpillar said, once tired of crawling, he started to climb. I come to encourage you today that guess what? When you get to a point in your life and you feel like you got to crawl just to get your way out of situations, when you have to crawl just to remove yourself from a different place, God said that when you get tired of crawling, it's time to climb. Oh, come on, somebody. If you get tired of crawling through your circumstance, God said, that's just God letting you know that it's time to climb. It's time to climb up out of your circumstance. It's time to climb up out of your issues. It's time to climb up out of your problems. God said, don't get discouraged because it's just a message to you that you can take yourself from crawling to climbing. Somebody say crawling to climbing. You understand that sometimes your tiredness is a sign that you are ready to take off. You thought you were at a place to be grounded, but God said you're at a place to take off. You thought that your place of being grounded was a place that was telling you that denial was there, but God said your denial wasn't there to stop you. It was there for you to arise above it. Come on, somebody, because what you can't get on, come on, somebody, you can fly over. Come on, somebody, what you can't get through, come on, somebody, you can rise above. Come on, somebody, God said don't get confused by why you're grounded. God said it's just a message and a sign of a season that you're grounded. He said it's time to take off. Somebody say take off.
Take off.
So the story says he decided to climb the tree that he played under all his life. Now, I'm going to let you know that don't be fooled by the circumstances that you have to climb. God is ready to take you higher from the same place that you was playing under. Oh, come on, somebody. Every single time he's seen the tree, he's seen defeat. Every single time he's seen the tree, he's seen trials. Every single time he's seen the tree, he's seen a resemblance and a reflection of his past. But God said that I'm not going. That tree is now just because the tree resembles one thing doesn't mean that its purpose is for another. Come on, somebody. Your tree may resemble defeat, but God said its purpose for your victory. Come on, somebody. Your tree may resemble, come on, somebody, not more than enough or lacking the mentality, but your tree's purpose is for you to rise above your mindset. Now, come on, your tree may reflect your shortcomings, your mistakes, your habits, your addictions, but come on, somebody. But the tree's purpose was for your deliverance.
My God.
So don't get confused by what your tree looks like. He said the tree, he played under it all his life. If you go to anything right now, some of y'all don't even call the Charlie Stop the Charlie Stop because y'all keep calling it what it was in the very beginning. I heard that place has so many different names for it, and some people don't want to accept the Charlie Stop name. They still call it whatever it was called. Because guess what? It's always going to be a memory of something. No matter what's there. That corner store down there was a pizza shop before, correct? So some people will still call it the pizza shop even though they know they're going into a Beans corner store. Because whenever you come to a milestone in your life and there's a memory about it, you begin to speak to it as its memory. But God said that even though your reflection and your resemblance is the pizza shop, guess what? Its purpose was supposed to be a corner store. Come on, somebody. So yes, your street corner may have been a remembrance of bringing you back to your bar stool just to let you know that you're going to be delivered over your bar stool. Or come on, somebody, don't let the resemblance confuse you of his purpose.
Glory, Lord.
So, God said, it's not about how the tree affects your present. It's about how he'll use it for your future. It's not about your situation and your circumstance, how it affects your present. God is saying that your situation and your circumstance, the importance of it is how I'll use it for your future. Oh, come on, somebody. Some of us feel like we're stuck in it and we don't understand why do I feel like I'm still stuck in my situation. Because God said that because the way you're thinking about your situation, because you keep thinking about your situation according to how your situation's outcomes used to be. But you're going to be able to reframe your mind and understand that guess what? Even though your situation has given you these outcomes, I've come to let you know that your situation's purpose is to let you come out of your issue. Come on, somebody. So as we continue to see this, the parable told us that as he was up on the branch, he breathed in peace. It says, observing the beauty of what surrounded him and the things evolving around him. He knew that this was so beautiful that he couldn't afford not to transform with the world. Even though life had its trials, he was able to sleep in the great peace, knowing that he would be something greater than just a simple caterpillar. He was able to preserve the peace. Oh, y'all not getting that yet. Come on, Brother Caesar, I'm about to use you.
All right.
See, when you're going through hell and high water, God, before he puts you in your circumstance, and we understand, like we said in that scripture, he said, this present moment has nothing on the suffering that we go through. Because God has something greater on the other side. And so what God will do is just like what he did in the moment when he spoke to the storm. And he said, what? Peace. Be still. And so even though he never said he never said the storm disappeared. He just brought peace to the effect of the storm. Come on, somebody, stay with me.
Yeah.
And so what happens is people wonder why. How could you go through what you go through and you still have peace of mind? Wow. How could you go through what you go through? Because, if I had to go through what I had to go through, or I had to go through what you went through or what you're going through, I don't know what I would do. You know how people say that? I don't know what I would do. I would just go off, or I would do this, that, and the other. But God gives us a certain peace that even when the hell and high water is going on around us, he gives us a sense of peace. So this was smart for the caterpillar because he gave him peace while he was able to observe what was going on around him before he put him to sleep. And so what happens is that when you get to that place, he was able to have peace first before he went to sleep. That should be some of our prayer even right now in the middle of the night, is that God, give me peace while I sleep. So that whatever's going on around me, I don't have to wake up in it. God just missed it right there. Because understand this, God is sitting there trying to bring forth a peace that can be preserved over our lives. And so what he did is that the caterpillar had peace amongst him. That's what it said, is that he was able to look at what the world was doing and understood that as this world changes, even though the hell and high water is going, I have to be able to change in this world because I can no longer be the same. I can no longer do what I do. I can no longer be the same man, the same woman that I've always been, because guess what? If I don't change, I'll be left and I will always be a caterpillar. But at some moment in my life, I have to step into what my purpose is. And God is saying that you can't care about what the world is doing around you. You have to change for yourself. That's what he said. He gave the caterpillar a spirit of peace amongst him. He said as the caterpillar slept because he was laying on a dewy branch or a dewy branch on a dewy tree, it said that he began to crystallize as he was able to sleep. And the crystallizing was important because as it wrapped him around, and it wrapped around him, and it succumbed him, the greatest thing why it crystallized, here, you can do that.
All right.
Greatest thing is that as it crystallized, no matter what was going on in the world,
all right,
it said that it crystallized them because it began to preserve, my God, it began to preserve the peace. You wonder why you're in the midst of your circumstance right now. And you think, why am I in a place that I cannot get out of? Because God is preserving the peace.
Thank you.
It's uncomfortable. It doesn't make sense that you're in it. But God is preserving the peace. And so he's preserving your peace while you sleep. He's preserving the peace while all the hell and everything. That's why people are seeing you. See, some people think like, why are you still doing what you're doing? Why are you still going forward with what you're going forward with? Because God is sitting there saying that, yes, he has you kind of asleep, that you cannot feel the beings. You know, there's a lot of things that go on the street. Some of y'all probably asleep last night, but I swear I heard a full-fledged band playing timbales last night at like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. I mean, almost like they were outside just doing drumline. I don't understand what was going on. But there were some people who probably didn't even hear it because guess what? They were asleep. It wasn't affecting them. So God says, you know what? Sometimes I have you spiritually asleep that you don't feel me sometimes. You don't see me near. You don't experience my presence. But it's all because I have you crystallized so that your peace, come on somebody, will be preserved in the midst of your circumstance. Your peace, somebody, will be preserved in the midst of your mishaps. And so he said it keeps them wrapped up.
Thank you, Lord.
And guess what? Even though you're inside of a situation that's uncomfortable to you, it's also protecting you. When a caterpillar goes into its cocoon, no matter if it rains, no matter if it does anything, it stays attached to what he put himself to. So you see, he's in a cocoon. God said you have been given the peace that passes all understanding. You're going to be like that for a while. Even though you may be going through what you're going through, you can remain in peace. Because you are in the season of becoming something greater than you are today. You got to be able to say the same thing. I may be sitting in my cocoon. It's uncomfortable. I may be wrapped up in my circumstance. Because understand this, he was wrapped up in his surrounding. What was created in his surrounding. And so sometimes when you are wrapped up in your surrounding, you feel overwhelmed with your surrounding. And we cannot understand why we are in the place that we are in. And God is saying, I have something greater for you. So don't get discouraged when you have to go through what you have to go through. Don't get discouraged because some of these things, the enemy is attacking you in a different way. Because God is saying that there's something greater on the other side. Yes, it may remind you of what you used to do. It may remind you of your absence. It may remind you of your weak moments. It may remind you of what you destroyed. But come on, somebody. God is saying, but just don't worry about what it reminds you about. Come on, somebody. Worry about what I have it purpose for. Come on, somebody. That's like when I get through this thing, I'll get through it better than when I went in.
Thank you, Lord.
So Job said, even to this day, my complaint is bitter. And many of us will say the same thing, but I encourage you just to rest in peace. Rest in your discomfort. Rest in your situation. Even while the Lord has you wrapped up in a cocoon, God is saying that I'm keeping peace in the midst of your cocoon. Peace is coming because you're going to be a better being after it. So we talked about this in Bible study. We said that wrath can bring forth and produce a whole separate entity. And that's why we said that we found out that it was a noun. Because when you allow anger to rely or lie in on the inside and live on the inside of you, it creates a being of wrath. But I come to encourage you, peace is like the same thing. If you let anger get out of your inside, but let peace be on your inside, guess what? Peace living on the within produces a whole nother being. Come on, somebody. Come on, peace produces a greater is he. Come on, peace produces those who are in Christ, what are new creatures. What old things have what passed away, and behold, all things. Come on, somebody say all things. All things become new. Peace on the inside produces no weapon that's formed against me will prosper. Peace on the inside produces a devil fleeing into a being. Come on, somebody. Peace on the inside produces a victory already having won. But peace on the inside produces a fighting through the storm while being in the midst of your situation. So we see the story continuing as I close, telling that the caterpillar woke up trapped in a heavy shell. He went to sleep and there was nothing on him. And even though he couldn't do anything about the experiences that surrounded him, when he finally woke up, he was trapped. And he couldn't get out. Anybody ever been in a situation where you feel like you was trapped and you can't get out? No matter how much you squirm, no matter how much you move, you are trapped and you can't get out. And it did not allow him to move. It said this, it could only get out of what it was in by using what he got from being within. Y'all missed that part, but just shout on it on Tuesday. Come on, somebody. He had to use the very thing that he got to go in there to get. Come on, somebody. God said, situation. I'll produce out of your situation the very thing, the very key to get you out of your situation. You missed it again. Come on, somebody. He went in there and had nothing to get himself out. But God said, I'll produce you ways to get yourself out of your situation. Some of us don't understand why we in the midst of what we're going in. You don't have the tools. He told us last year. So last week he said, use what you have. You already have. God said, I'll put you on the inside of a circumstance just to create something within you to make you use to get yourself out of. Come on, somebody. You will use the very thing. God will place you in a hard place to help you grow something out of you just for that to be the very thing you need to get out of what you're in. I know that sounds confusing, but God said, I'm producing in you. Come on, somebody. The very thing to get you out. So I have to put you in. So you wonder why you in your situation. You wonder why you in your circumstance. You think you don't have the tool. But God said, as you pray, I'll give it to you. As you fast, I'll give it to you. As you praise, I'll give it to you. You may not have it when you went in, but you'll surely have it when you come out. Come on, somebody. God said, I'm giving you the key.
Yeah. Thank you, Lord.
I may not have had it when I went in, but I'll surely have it when I come out. Some of us are in the midst of a hard place, and we are mad at God for bringing us to the place in our lives. But he gave us enough peace to endure the season of change. God is saying that I put you in the midst of a hard place to get something out of you. Because what I'm pulling out of you, you are going to need for your next season. Come on, somebody, for your next journey, for your next fight. He said, I'm pulling prayer life out of you. I'm pulling faith life out of you. I'm pulling perseverance out of you. I'm pulling strength out of you. I'm pulling the praise out of you. I'm pulling a yes out of you. Come on, somebody. Some of us are staying in our situation right now because we keep saying no. But God is saying that I'm putting a yes on the inside of you. For what I put in you there to get is going to save your life. Come on, somebody. It's going to bring you out of those circumstances. But here goes the issue. The issue is this. The caterpillar had been a caterpillar for so long that it didn't realize it wasn't a caterpillar anymore. That's why I got happy at altar call time. I said, oh yeah, you just gave me a leeway to my message.
All right.
The problem is that even though it had changed, oh my God,
Jesus.
it couldn't recognize that it wasn't what it's always been. Don't miss this. Some of us have been blind for so long that we can't even recognize that we have sight.
Jesus.
Some of us have been addicts for so long that we don't necessarily recognize to accept our sobriety. Some of us have been broke for so long that we couldn't even notice that God has shifted our entire financial situation. Some of us have lived simple for so long that even through Jesus shedding his blood on Calvary, Jesus let his blood make us brand new and cleansing us of our sin. We still struggle understanding that we are free from sin. So we make the same mistake in walking in sin, even though we are free from sin. Some of us, like this caterpillar, had the issue that he never received that he was not